this computer. Yeah, okay. Welcome back, everyone, to this post-lunch session. Hope you had good food and enough to keep you awake. So don't. If you feel sleepy, let me know. I'll play some music in between to keep us awake. Yeah, I sometimes feel sleepy as well, but oh, good. Right. This is the second unit in this block one. Today is day 3. I got 2 more days. So the plan is today PPT and task 1, which will fill your morning. Tomorrow mostly task 2, and we'll see how we are going. Otherwise, task 2 and 3 tomorrow, giving you Friday for catch up of any role play, because I don't want to bring you out of role play every time. If you are doing something and then I said, okay, come to my training, it's not good. So I need to give you enough time. Yeah, cool. We'll see how we are going tomorrow. Otherwise, one thing is sure, tomorrow we are definitely having task 2, not sure about task 3 yet. Right. The name of the unit is Lead and Facilitate Team, BSBXTW401. As a team manager, as a team leader, it's very, very important for you to lead your team. Now, what are the characteristics you like to see in a leader? You might have some leader as well, maybe now, maybe in past, because not everyone on day 1 would have become the manager or a lead, isn't it? It's a journey. You start as a fresher, you gain some experience, know the company, gain experience, be an expert. Slowly, you move up in the ladder, isn't it? Maybe you are a leader, you are a manager, you are the principal, you are the director, right? But look back to your early starting days and analyze what have you done, or what would you wish to see in those days in your leader, in your manager. What is that? You might think, oh, leader need to listen to me. They have to be polite. They need to give appropriate feedback. They need to come in a time, do the dedicated work, not just passing the parcel thing, take the responsibility, praise us when we do the good job, isn't it? Yeah, appreciate the hard work that we are putting in, right? And if we have failed to do something, try to see why we failed to meet that deadline or why we couldn't do it, right? Rather than saying, oh, you didn't complete on time. So being polite, being empathic, show the intelligence, treat us as a human being, right? Like a decent human being, right? All that kind of thing. Show some flexibility. That's what you like to see in a leader. And if you are struggling, provide us training, provide us mentoring, right? If you had wished that your leader should have been like this in past or at present as well, then please start developing those qualities, because this is what your junior staff would want you to do as well. Treat the world how you wish to be treated. Treat the world in the same way how you wish to be treated. If you want happiness, try to keep up happy. If you want respect, give respect and then gain respect. Right? If you want to be treated fair, you have to treat others fair. It always go both ways. So this is why learning this unit is very important. That you need to lead and facilitate team or team members in another way. Right? Some of the slide is FYI, but I'm not skipping it. I haven't deleted that. I want you guys to read it, but I won't go too much into all the content. There are 2 sections of the slide, depending how we are going. Either I'll do one or I'll do both. Yeah, okay. Cool, let's get started. So what is the purpose of the presentation? At the end of the session, you should understand team. Together, everyone achieves more. Benefits of and purpose of team. Why do you form a team? Why is team essential? How does a team help? The stage of team development. 5 keys to team performance: motivation and teamwork, developing team cohesion, and managing any conflict. Conflict is inevitable. You cannot avoid 100% conflict. You can minimize that. Just imagine, right? Whom do you go well with? your brother, your sister, your mom, your dad, your wife, your husband, your kids. Now, put a hand in your heart, and ask yourself, do you live in a 100% conflict zone with your family members where you spend most of the time? If the answer is no, if the person or the members we spend most time with, who knows us very well, maybe talk about or think about your dad or mom who would have raised you. If you can't avoid the conflict with them, who has been raising you for 20, 30 years, still might be living with you, have known you since before you were born, right? This long journey, and still conflict exists with them, then how can we expect in a workplace where there are new people, different background, different ethnicity, mindset, education, experience, that we can live in a conflict-free environment? 100%? No, never. Okay, but we can minimize the conflict. We can solve the conflict as and when it arises, depending on the severity of the conflict. Okay, and conflict is positive. I'll tell you when we approach that. Yeah, conflict is positive, not always negative. Okay, right. So let's say, what is a team? Is it me or we? A group of people becomes a team when its member pool their effort to achieve shared goal. Right? So right now, you members are group members, isn't it? You are there in this classroom. You are a group of students, group of candidates. But like just before a while, I think it was Patrick, if I'm not wrong, who asked me about forming a group and everything, right? Then you become a team. Who is in your team? In my team is Frederick, Casper, Edward, Faith, Ferris, whatever, right? Why I call it as team? Because those people work together to achieve a common goal. The goal is to complete role play. The goal is to learn the concept better, isn't it? So right now is a group, but from that group, you form different teams, right? The teams that helps you to really achieve a common goal, to complete role play, to complete tasks, to share the knowledge, to achieve competency or a satisfactory grade in every unit that you are doing, to share the material, right? So here is a collection of individuals. A work group or team with common goals, a sense of identity, individual contributor may work independently. You are still having some individual work. It's not always like that we always mingle together, right? A team with shared goal and identity as well as interdependence. You are interdependence on one another. Members need to work together to reach their common goal. You need to work your job. You need to do the work, but you are also working in a team, in a group, in a shared objective. Now, again, I'm not defining all of them. Functional team for a particular type. Management team, the higher management, we can say this is our management team. The management team will include the CEO, the board of director, CFO, chief financial officer, COO, chief operation officer, CEO, chief executive officer, right? Metrics team, a table team, you can say, like read line thing. Merge team, mixed team, multifunctional course function, lab over thing, for example, HR has to work with finance, HR has to work with operation, HR has to work with procurement, right? Problem solving innovation team, project team, some committee, self-managed team, and virtual team. Virtual team is like non-real. When I say non-real, we could be a part of virtual team, right? Because you guys are Solomon, I'm in Australia, and we are working together, right? Okay. Now I have to share the sound. This is a very cool video. Just watch that.
It's smarter to travel in groups.
About an European travel company, but it doesn't matter. The message is loud and clear, extremely clear, that if you're alone, you risk yourself, you risk your identity, risk your existence, right? Just imagine, like, don't take it negatively, otherwise I can change the example. Solomon Island. Imagine one person living in Honiara, just one person living in the whole capital city. No one else. It's just one island, and one person living there. Think about their existence. Like, if it's full of people, maybe small number, not this big, 1,000, 2,000 people, not this population, still, they will survive long, isn't it? Right? You can set up all the facility, you can share the common, experience and try to be better, right? Together, you can really solve big problems, yeah? Right. Effective work team. That's the difference between a boss and a leader. Remember what I say. Everyone likes to be boss or bossy. Ask your wife, ask your husband. Yeah. But no one likes the boss, isn't it? We all feel like, oh, okay, we should be treated like, I got good experience. I might be saying, oh, I'm a PhD holder. This should be treated like this. Everyone must do what I say, right? I want to be boss, but the moment I have a boss on top of me, I don't like it. And as I said earlier, right, if you want to be treated in a certain way, treat others in the same way. While a leader, boss sits here, gives the instruction, and everyone shares the burden and they fail, or they really get drained because they have to put so much of energy. While a leader is one of you who puts the effort together with you, and so it's a combined effort, and you feel like, oh, okay, and great people. Like, if you think of any great person, any great leader, they are a part of people. They are not bossy, right? Great president, prime minister in the world, in history, great freedom fighters, right? Service, like service provider, like Mother Teresa, like she was the greatest person, one of the greatest, I would say. Yeah. Never try to be bossy. Be a leader. Be a good human being first, right? That's what we all need. Yeah. Google has most of the answers, so don't worry that, or someone will tell you and then only you will get, you will become aware of certain things. No, that's not right. Yeah, you can learn so many things on your own. If a person, a trainer, teacher is there, it helps a lot. That's for sure. But if it doesn't stop you. Yeah, right. So some of the things about effective work team: great leader, committed to achieve common goals, right? Open and honest communication, no hidden agenda. If you don't like someone, say it in a positive way, right? Trust and respect. Again, it goes both ways. They involve in the decision making, share the workload, knowledge, skills, and resources, reward good performance. Conflict is an opportunity to grow. Like I said earlier, whenever there is a conflict, consider it as an opportunity to grow. Why? Because, okay, let me pick some example. I've been talking about Casper a lot, so I won't talk about Casper. Miss Jacqueline, let's talk about some female candidate, right? So on a particular matter, I and Jacqueline didn't agree, right? What Jacqueline is saying, I said, no, Jacqueline, what you are saying doesn't make sense. And I will, provide a reason why. Okay. So Jacqueline can take it negatively that, oh, Dushan didn't agree, he didn't like my idea, and he doesn't care how much hard work I have put, and blah, blah, blah. But that's all negative thought. I mean, she can hold it, no problem, right? But at the same time, if she's aware that conflicts is an opportunity grow, she will open her ears and listen to me loud and clear that, Jacqueline, why I'm saying this is not a good idea. Number one, because it's very time consuming. Number two, you will go over budget on this. Number three, what if your staff member fail you? They don't turn up or they call in sick. Number four, what if your system crashes? So I say no with some reasons. There is a conflict, but it's an opportunity for Jacqueline to look beyond what she cannot see. Right? I'll share one of my personal experience. Okay, keep it personal. I'm not sure how long it will be personal. If it's recorded, it's on a YouTube, but still, I'm not sharing my bank detail. Don't worry. Right? Prior to coming to Australia, I was so desperate to come to Australia. I was trying hard. No scholarship options were available. It wasn't getting clicked. Something wasn't working well, and I was so desperate. I was about to sell my house. I told my wife that I'm going to sell my house, and from that money, I'm going to take care of my tuition fees. That's what I told her. That was back in 2013, 2012, like almost 9, 10 years ago, right? That was having decent value, and that should take care of my 3, 4 years of tuition fee. I just had to take care of the living expense. She disagreed strongly that no, I'm not allowing you to sell your house. Just not for the purpose. You must work hard, find some scholarship option, find some alternative way, but this is the only asset you have, we have, and we are not selling it. There was a big conflict, right? A lot of discussion, debate, argument, all that thing, Few years down the track, I realized, no, that was a good decision because she was telling, what if you couldn't do it? What if you don't like Australia? What if you don't get this? What if all this what if thing from which arises from conflict, right? Which arises from a positive debate, argument, right? So I worked hard. I really published some paper, apply for scholarship. At least I got tuition fees waiver. I just had to take care of my expenses. And few months down the track, I also even work harder. I could find a path, and that gave me other scholarship to leave my expense and take care of my expenses as well. But that conflict doesn't matter how I like it or not. I wasn't that much, literate or educated in terms of leadership management concept, but now I can recall it and I can clearly say that, it's a great opportunity to grow. Okay, you must take conflict positively. Conflict will open your eyes and tell you that, guys, you haven't thought about it. I don't agree with that. Reason ABC. Take it in a positive way, discuss in a positive way, but yes, it's a good opportunity to think outside. Okay? Right, regularly review performance. That's another thing, right? Oh, thanks, Patrick. Yeah, I don't share it when the recording is on, but no, it's a very relevant thing. And things after that, there are so many things that I always take conflict as an opportunity to go. Momentarily, you are dragged on. When someone opposes it, instantaneously, our brain lightning signal tells you that, hey, he's quite new, he only got 1 year of experience. Like I got 10 years of experience. I'm the best. I know more. It's always the I thing which or the ego thing which creates a blind spot in our vision, but you have to take back, hey guys, okay, why is that, and listen to it, jot it down, listen to it, analyze that. Yeah, right. Regular review of performance. You must review the performance. You must review how you are doing yourself. I get reviewed by my students, so I don't worry too much. The moment someone says, okay, your lecture didn't make sense, then I'll take a step back and see, okay, why did it happen? Was it the topic? Was it me? Was it something else? Right? Right. Okay. Next. Benefits of teamwork. Like they are very simple to understand. More resources for problem solving. Okay. Improved creativity. Like we saw that, penguin stuff. Yeah. There was big shark coming in. There was one person that said, okay, we should balance the iceberg in a bit, different way, right? They shift the load in one direction. Iceberg got shark was struck, bitten and dead. Yeah. Improved quality of decision making. Everyone shares their idea. Greater commitment. Yes, because the load is shared. Higher motivation. right? If you're alone, you feel tired. If you're in a group, you said, okay, that person is working, so should I, right? You feel less fatigue, better control and work discipline, and more individual need satisfaction. And that's why diversity is also important, right? Like I said, on day one, right? If it was a classroom filled with all the males, the approach is different. But the moment we got few female, the approach is different. We give more respect. We kind of behave in a decent way. Yeah, I'm not saying that only male won't, behave in a decent way, but we be mindful of our language. Yeah, because there is that always, consciousness that oh, someone is here, right? Right. Okay. Work team needs a purpose. Align the team to organization goal. Whatever you are doing at a team level, at a micro level, should be satisfying your ultimate organization goal. Achieve a strategic objective and should have a purpose. The difference between, okay, so what is team objective, right? Oops, no, I don't mean that. Team objective, what is it? Where you are, where you want to be, and the gap in between is your objective, is what you do. Yeah, the difference between where we are, where you want to be. Current status goal is what you do. Everything in between is what you do. Yeah. Now, please familiarize yourself with this SMART objective. SMART, SMART objective. Specific, measurable, attainable, or achievable, relevant or realistic, and time-framed, time-based. Okay. Whenever you set any goal, it has to follow SMART objectives. It has to be specific. I'll give you an example and you will judge me in a few minutes, okay? If I tell you that I wanted to be rich, how clear is that? How specific is that? Yeah. The moment I say I want to be rich, it's an extremely vague statement. We all want to be rich. We all want to be happy, healthy, you know, no stress and all that thing. But everyone's stress level is different. Everyone's happiness is different. Everyone's richness is different. If I'm in Solomon, living in some remote island, my richness is quite different as compared to if I was living in a Sydney beach suburb, isn't it? Yeah, where you want to afford the housing, I need a couple of million to buy a decent house. Forget about the EMI and everything. While somewhere on the island, I don't know the price, but just assume for now that was like one third, one fourth cheaper as compared to, or affordable, I would say, as compared to what I was living in Sydney. Depends on age, isn't it? For a kid, imagine a kid who is 2 or 3 years old. Their happiness or their richness is being with parents, getting all the good food, and that's it. Good nap, sleep time, that's it. They don't worry about how much bank balance you have. They don't worry about your PhD or master degree or whatever, whether you are immigration officer or whether you are a principal. For them, it doesn't matter, right? For them, happiness, richness is quite different than what is for a teenager, what is for a married couple, what is for a couple with 1 or 2 or 3 kids, and what is for the retired person. So whenever I say I want to be rich, it's a vague statement, is extremely unclear statement. Doesn't help anyone. But instead, I would say, I want to have $2 million in my bank account. That's a bit better than rather than just saying rich. Okay? Measurable? Yes, I'm measuring it. $2 million, I can count it. Via asset, via bank, whatever. Some property, some stocks, shares, whatever. Attainable? No. Is it possible? Yes. By when? I haven't said that. Maybe by the time I retire. Okay? And that's why it has to be time-based, time frame. So I will improve that statement again. I wanted to be rich by 2030. I wanted to have 2 million in my bank, in my asset account by December 2030. So I'm saying that I got 8.5 years to do that. It's a time frame. It's relevant, yes, because that will make me happy. It's attainable. Yes, if I do smart investment, yes, right? Measurable, yes, I can measure it, and very specific. So whatever you say has to follow this SMART acronym. Otherwise, it doesn't help your company, doesn't help you on a personal level. Now, let's talk about a company objective. When a company says, I wanted to increase sales or earn profit, what is the definition of sales or profit? How much profit they wanted to make? Is it in terms of percentage or is it in terms of the dollar value? If you're talking about sales, what is the amount of sales that you are expecting? So the company point of view, they should say, I wanted to keep a 10% profit margin. That's it. So they will structure the entire system, buy something for $100, sell it for $180, $200. In between comes the marketing cost, in between comes the commission, the logistics, the staff salary, the PF or superannuation, the taxation, everything, the investment infrastructure cost, the growth opportunity, everything. Finally, 100, which is bought for 100, sold for 200. Your net cost is, let's say, 181, you left about $19 with you, which is almost 10%. Yeah, makes sense? So you have to be very specific, measurable, time-based. When do you want to achieve this numbers by? Okay, right. Now, this is getting bit theoretical. Sorry for that. Stages of team development. It's important to know, so I'm not skipping that. There are 5 stages: forming, storming, norming, performing, adjourning. From the start till the end, adjourn, like finish, yeah? So forming stage, when the team is just formed, there's a very little agreement, unclear purpose, guidance and direction is required. Just imagine you guys on a Monday morning, and this is a Wednesday afternoon. Do you see any changes? You're kind of settled in APTC. You know some friends. You know what's happening. You know the structure of APTC. I haven't given you my village access, is still being worked on. But yeah, I mean, you know that who is Dushan, what he does, what we are supposed to do, what we are learning. Is it nonsense or is it great, right? So there was a little agreement. Now we are getting with a better thing. So, we are in the storming stage where there is more conflict. Who will be doing what? I mean, we are not at team building stages now, but just trying to connect. Yeah. But imagine for that role play thing, if I create a group, right, and give you all, then there is, as you move progress, there is some conflict. You might say, oh, he was given the role of a team leader, but I'm given a role of a coordinator for LGBTIQ. I don't want that. I also want to be a team leader. And then there is a conflict. But there is an increased clarity of purpose. Some power struggle, again, who will do what, and some coaching is required. The next stage is norming, when there is more agreement, right? Clear roles and responsibility facilitation. I would say, no, mind, sorry, this is what it is. You'll have to follow it, right? Or because of mutual agreement, you can swap the roles. Otherwise, it's what it is, yeah? Comes the performing stage, where there is a clear vision, focus on achievement and delegation. And finally, adjourning, tasking being completed, good feeling about the achievement and recognition for the hard work you've done. Forming, storming, norming, performing, adjourning. FSNPA. FSNPA. At each of this style, you need to select different leadership. Right? We'll come about different stages of leadership as well. It's the same thing, Tuckman stages in team development, forming, storming, norming, performing. He hasn't talked about adjourning. It's fine. This is how performance is impacted. Forming stage, everyone is happy. Hey guys, we got an opportunity, blah, 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 full of energy, let's do it. Storming goes bit down. Norming, you come back to the formal stage. Performing, you are at the best. Adjourning, you feel like, oh, we've been tired, it's almost finished, let's take a break. And again, performance is slightly deteriorated. Always build a cohesive team, clear state of team purpose, ensure the goals are understood clearly, document roles and responsibilities, make the most of everyone's skill. Again, I like this, but that's my personal favorite. Yeah, make the most of everyone's skill. As a team leader, you need to know your team. Who is great in what aspect? Who can really perform well in some aspect? You need to know that, right? Um, Again, I'll make it personalized to me rather than bringing anyone. If my manager, my boss, my leader decide that Tushant, I want you to write a 5-page report about how APTC is growing, about APTC student story, what is your contribution, how is APTC helping everyone, and things like that. I will take ages to do that. I'm not great with creative writing. Okay. But at the same time, if you tell me, Dushyant, these are the numbers, would you make a decent graph from it or analyze in Excel? I'll say, bang, bang, bang. Half an hour, 1 hour, I'll be done with that. I love that thing. I'm a numbers man. I like analysis. I like that. Okay. So, as my leader, my manager, my boss should know if they got 5 employee who is best in this section and assign the roles accordingly so work gets done quickly and there is least conflict. Because I know I can do certain thing the best. At the same time, I know this is my limitation. I can't do it. I can't do it easily. I take help of Grammarly and other thing, and still it's limited. I don't enjoy it, so I don't pay attention in learning. It's not that I can't do it. I published my thesis worth 120 pages. So definitely it's not a question, but takes time, takes dedication, and I don't enjoy doing so. I try to refrain from doing it. Yeah, cool. Any question, I keep writing in the chat. I'm looking at the chat at the same time. Right, so build a sense of team spirit and pride and celebrate the success. Okay. Now, again, this is kind of FYI, a few slides. 5 key to peak performance. How do you have the performance thing, right? Unlock peak performance. What to, want to, how to, chance to, and lead to. With what to unlock people's understanding of what good job entails. What do you mean by a good job? Unlock people's desire to do a good job. They want to do it, right? I mean, they might have the skill. You just need to really tell them, facilitate, so they will, even grow better. Yeah, unlock people's ability to do a good job. Unlock the shackles to restrain people from doing a good job. Give them a chance. If you don't give them a chance, they'll always freak out. They will always say, "Oh, I can't do it. Why? Because I never done it." Give them a chance, and lead to unlock people's enthusiasm, willing to do a good job. Right, let's look at each of this. But as I said, it's kind of FYI. So don't worry about that too much. What to, want to, how to, chance to, lead to. What to. There are 3 elements of the what to key. The framework, the job purpose, key result area, SMART goal. Second is non-task goals, right? And third is hot stop principle. The job purpose and key result area has to be explained clearly, right? Key result area comes from the job description, right? And success has to be measured in terms of SMART goals. Yeah. Non-task goal. If I'm a teacher, does it mean that I'll be training all the time, like 24/7 or all the 40 hours? No, I have some non-task goal. I have some reading thing. I have some going through email, providing feedback, improving the assessment. If I feel like, oh, assessment is good, but there are some typos, there is something that can be improved, then I must bring it that, isn't it? Yeah. And Hosta principle. Before I explain that, I'll tell you one thing. So I'm just picking a good example. Right. There are various type of people that can fall into it. Okay. So number one, if I tell you that the road you are growing is having a dead end, you shouldn't go any further than this. Okay. You don't listen to me. You get pumped, and then you think, oh, he was right. Okay. The other type of people, I tell you that there's a bumpy road, don't go fine. There's a dead end. You take a U-turn and you choose the alternative, be safe. Right? And the third one, I tell you that there is a bumpy road, there is a dead end, don't go this way. You still do it and keep on doing. You never learn from it. Right? Hot stove principle. We know the stove is hot. We shouldn't touch it. We touch it and then we learn the lesson and we don't do it. Okay? Your boss tells you that if you do it this way, that will take you forever. Don't do it this way. This is not an effective way of doing it. You still do it and you really regret that why didn't you listen to that hot stove principle. You get the bad feeling and then you learn. Okay? Next is 1-2. Design the job, place the job, and motivate the people, right? 2, unlock that desire to do a good job. How to do a good job? Give them a training, give them a best experience they can. Sorry, and create a learning environment. Chance 2. What chances should you give? Give them any environmental support, team support, some time, any information or resources, tools and equipment, any work system or procedure. Equip them well, in short, right? And any acts of God and a personal problem, right? You should encounter for that as well. Lead to ambitious goal, the smart acronyms here. Make them keep focus, keep the high standard, safety, If you keep the standards low, they will achieve the low standard. If you keep the standard high, there is a chances they will achieve the high standard. Yeah. Interpersonal communication skills or action orientation and self-esteem for what they are doing. Again, the same thing. Yeah, what to, want to, how to, chance to. The PPT will be shared, so don't worry. Yeah. Right. So what we have covered, the role of a team leader, the team culture, types of team, dealing with resistance, and implementing supporting team. Any questions or should I continue?
I have a question.
Please, Michael, sir.
This question, I know that most of us here, we are team leaders, or I say we are managers, and we look after people. In your presentation today, you talk about the boss. Everybody wants to be a boss.
But no likes the boss.
But no one likes the boss.
Yeah.
My question is, I have a practical situation where people under my leadership, they wrote some type of statements or consents regarding, like, for example, you're being incompetent or you didn't achieve this, and this. And then the response part of it is what, if you could elaborate more on the type of responses I can do, as you say that in self-awareness, we talk about the tendency to control your emotion so that you can deal with the situation. So my question comes back to how can we deal with this situation? How do I respond to it so that I don't cause further conflicts in this type of situation? Thank you.
Excellent question. Very much relevant, and I can feel where you're coming from. Okay, so I'll give you 2 sentences to choose from. What would you prefer? Okay, and then you will get some answer, and then again we'll discuss it. Okay, if I tell you, right? Of course, I wouldn't tell you. Let me pick up some Maria. There is no Maria here, right? Maria works with me. Like, I am supervising Maria. Okay, I tell Maria, I told you so many times, don't do it this way. Maybe not so aggressively, but I tell her, directly that, Maria, you did it wrong. I explained you 3 times last week that no, I need the report on time. I need it on my table without any error. If I have to proofread what you have done, then when will I do my job? That's one situation, okay? Or one way of saying it. The other way of saying it, I go to Maria and tell Maria, sister, what's happening? Is everything all right with you? Is everyone okay in your family? Please shout if I could help you out. And maybe she will start opening up. So, first thing, I am building a connection rather than going to the main point. We all want the best outcome from our employee. Absolutely. That's our job. But in order to do that, we have to break the barrier of boss and employee. Leader is fine, but like he's my manager. I can't talk to him. I can't approve him. That's a wrong attitude. So if your employee has that attitude, it will take you decent time to break it, right? I can tell Maria that, Maria, I feel that you are so much stress. Are you getting good sleep? Is everyone all right in your family? Your mom, dad, everything good with your kids? I know that Corona is hampering our life. So just let us know if I could be any helpful, or you need any flexibility in the start and finish time. I can do that. And slowly, I'll tell you, Maria, we all have some issues. I might have some issues as well, but at the same time, we have to do the job. If we are not doing your part right, I will have to do it. And that, my boss will tell me, and because everyone will have some boss, isn't it? Because we don't run the whole company. So even though you are a manager, leader, or a boss, you might be reporting some other boss. So just tell it like that, Maria, if I do it this way, it will delay my thing and my boss will hunt me down that, Michael, why did you delay it so much, And I can't tell him that Maria did this to me. So I'm happy to help you if you're taking longer time in report writing, if you need some support with typing or fetching some information, or, I'm happy to support you, train you if you don't like this work, on all that thing. So build a personal rapport as a work colleague, not like a personal thing, that's inappropriate again. But like a mentor. If they are too younger to you, like a big brother or like a father, depending your age and their age, if there's like 20% years there's a difference, then you can treat like that. If there's 5-10 years of difference, then like elder brother, sister, or elder mentor. That I had been in these stages. I know it's very hard when you are new in a thing, when you got a lot of family thing. It's very hard to transition, and that's why I can feel for you and asking you if you need any support. Just say, Michael, I need your help. Help me with this report. That's one thing. Now, which one would you choose, Michael? Yeah. Now, again, if you might be saying that, oh, but I never talk like that. But if the message is going like that, that Michael is unapproachable. Sorry, Michael, don't take it personally. Yeah, just saying your name. Yeah. But if your staff member feels like their boss is not approachable, I have worked with so many different bosses. And that's why I'm very happy to share my journey and experience, right? I worked with some construction company, right? I worked as a data analyst. I worked as a university lecturer. Back in India, I worked as engineering college professor, assistant professor, right? I worked in Brazil as a business development manager. I worked as an accountant in Dubai, even though I don't know accounting. I worked successfully 11 months. And then I was the one to quit the job, not my boss. He was still saying, oh, Dushan, don't go, you're still going. I said, no, right? So I got various experience, worked with various industry, universities to the construction company, warehouse manager as well, lot of small and longer experience working in retail store. Davis John is a super market retail store, not supermarket, like a boutique store, retail store, you can say. They sell clothes, shoes, and jewelry, sunglasses, homeware, batteries, everything, right? Except groceries, some. Yeah, I worked in their head office as well. So I got various experience and I have learned a lot. If you care for your people, then only they will approach you. If the moment they feel like, oh, my boss is gone, I can't really expect anything from it. If that's a feeling, maybe you are not the one to be blamed. I tell you that, right? But if the message is going out, okay, again, let me put it this way. If I'm saying something and you guys don't understand, who is to be blamed? Me or you? Or there has to be without blame game. I need to think and analyze that why my students are not able to understand me. Is it the communication thing, or is it my language, or is it how I present information? But there is something wrong which has to be fixed. Rather than blaming my students or myself, I have to work on it. If that's the case with any of you, then you have to start working on it. The first step is when you go back to your workplace, first thing on a Monday morning, what do you say? Guys, I have a good news to share. That last week I attended 1 week of training, and that was fabulous. Whether you like it or not, just say it's fabulous. Okay? And say that I'm learning a lot of new things. Even though I am a manager, but there is always some scope of improvement. And I'm happy to improve what we learn, improve our relations. So moving forward, anyone can knock my door unless I'm reporting to someone with my boss and say that you need to talk to me. You can call me during business hour. Any help you require, I'm there. You can count on me. Does it make sense, Michael, sir?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. And
Yes.
you need to start building that rapport. They shouldn't feel like the boss is here. As I saw, you can't really have a better explanation than this picture. If that's the case, that boss versus employee, forget that you'll ever have best outcome. They will work with you, they'll get the paycheck, and you will still do their work, right? Even though they are being paid. But if it is the second part, there is a great chance that they will do their work, and as a whole team, you can grow. Yeah, but this is a time to convert the story. Whatever has happened, maybe you are with that employee for a couple of years now, couple of months now, and there is a lot of barriers in your communication, right? But does it mean we give up? No. Maybe they are a permanent employee as well. You can't get rid of them, right? Or maybe, like I said, if my message is not coming across to you, who is to be blamed for? And why do I have to play the blame game? Why can't I step aside, think about solving the situation rather than saying, oh, okay, it's my student to be blamed because they are not listening? Or is it, oh, is there something with me? No, no, no. It doesn't matter. What matters, how would I solve the situation? Yeah. Now, happy to talk to any one of you. If even a personalized situation, you can share with me. I got a lot of non-training time where you guys are working on your stuff. So if you feel like, oh, I got a particular situation and I want your opinion, doesn't matter you do that way or not. Just listen to me. If you feel it's a good thing, then do it. Otherwise, it's up to you. Yeah. Any more question before we move further? Okay. If nothing, I'll continue. Now, I've been watching about your, where you work and everything, just out of curiosity, and I see that many of you are in a good position, which is great. Yeah, which is great. Trust me, if you drop that shell for a while, that I'm a boss, I'm the manager, I got 10, 20 years, I'm an immigration head, I'm a principal, I'm the director, and try to learn something new, then there is a great scope and chance that you will learn something new. Yeah. Trust me, I will ensure that by the end of this week, every week before you go, you always learn something new. And if you are happy to learn, you can take the horse to the water. You can't make the horse drink. It's a horse choice whether they want to drink it or not. But I will ensure that you get a good environment. The water is available. You just have to bend down and drink the water. Yeah, I can't really pour it in your head. I mean, we get straws available, but that doesn't work with horse. Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's continue. Right. So, what is the role of team leader? It's like three core management responsibility. Task oriented, you must fulfill the task. Doesn't matter your team members do it or not. You are the manager. It's your job. You are the leader. You are responsible for them. Manage the individual and manage the whole team. three things. And that's why if you don't manage the individual as a team, you will have a failure and forget about achieving tasks. If you focus too much on a task and not on a person, then again, end of story. If you don't manage the whole team, the conflict within the team or team as a whole, like friends, like family, then again, any of this missing out will make you a great failure in achieving your targets, achieving your work goals. Yeah, it's a skill that everyone is learning. Even I'm learning many things from you guys. Yeah, this is what a team culture looks like. Sorry, I know you guys had your lunch, but I can't help this picture. Yeah, I have sugar teeth. Right. So everyone is different. Everyone has their own taste, own choice. How they want to be treated. I mean, we are not pampering anyone. Is never take it like that. But drop that shell. Yeah, breaking that shell is very important. But feeling and behaviors in team culture may include a strong sense of identity. Someone really feel. I had one student in one of my job. She was very, that student was very difficult to handle because they got some experience and there's always a clash between the teacher and a student. Whatever I said doesn't pass through, right? It's a gone story. It's way back, right? But I still remember, and I had to really struggle to convince the student, right? Yeah, a strong sense of identity. Nothing wrong in that, but you just need a better tricks to take care of them. Yeah, a sense of fun and enjoyment. Everyone should be happy at the end. Mutual trust, very important. This too, very important, extremely important, or the most. Mutual trust. The person whom you are mentoring should trust you. Then only they will open up the story. If the trust is not there, again, they won't share their personal feeling. I mean, not like personal, but like work related issues, and you will never achieve what you wanted. Open and honest communication. Like the feedback can be given in so many ways, but why do we use the hard word? Why can't we really, share it openly as we are sharing a feedback? Yeah. Open disagreement without personal attack. I respect what you are saying, but I still believe this is a better way of doing it. Something like that. Yeah. Active listening. Again, essential, most essential skill. When you're listening someone, just imagine, like for example, Michael was saying something, right? And I'll be like, yeah, 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 yeah. Or I'm operating, or I'm just taking a call in between. How would Michael feel? Michael said, why you're making fun of me? Am I not important? Right? That's the signal that you are good. Yeah. Check to listen. Listen to the person very attentively with full attention, and paraphrase any information and ask questions in return. Respect for individual difference. Like I said, I respect what you are saying, but I'm a firm believer that this is how it should be done. Okay? Focus on the solution. Like I said earlier, never play the blame game. Never help. Again, I'll talk about our situation. I'm trying to tell you guys something. And he says, Dushan, I still don't understand. I tried again. Still is the same thing. Dushan, I don't understand. I tried it. And then if it doesn't work, shall I blame you guys? That I told you 3 times, you're still not understanding that. Or shall I think of something that, oh, it could be technical failure. They're not reading the message. Or maybe I'm talking in a slang language in, jargons like technical terms that doesn't make sense. Yeah. Things like that, right? So focus on a solution, never the problem. This is a problem. This has happened. What are the alternatives? How can we improve the situation? And anticipation of others' need. Very essential. One thing that I might have told you, I'm telling you again. Once you finish this training, not just the training, like once you really achieve the certificate, it mark today's date or the feeling that you are having, or mark Monday's feeling that you are having, and mark the feeling exactly halfway through, end of week 3 block, and then compare those feelings. That's how you feel. It will be a very different experience, but you'll have to hold until that. You will 100% learn a lot of new things. But like I said, it's you to drink the water. I can give you the water. I can take you to the water. That's it. Yeah. So if you're not following this team meeting effectiveness, then this is a time to change it. Create an agenda. Don't start a meeting without an agenda. That's a big no, no, no. Second and important, distribute the agenda to team before meeting. That's why your team will be very effective on time. Okay. So for example, if I have to create a meeting with Michael and Casper, I will give them some time. So I won't say, today is Wednesday, 27 July. Michael, do you have a minute to talk about something at 2 o'clock? That is very short. Michael will be busy, Casper will be busy. They don't know what I'm about to talk. There is no agenda, there is no time frame. Everything is, vague, non-clear. That doesn't help. So must create an agenda, give time. So I could set up that, how about next Wednesday? And then, okay, they were 1 week, they will read the agenda and come prepared. They would decide whether the agenda or the meeting is relevant to them, right? If I'm going to talk about life in Australia, Michael say, oh, don't waste my time. I'm not coming to Australia anytime soon. If I have to come, I will decide at the time. But I'm too busy to attend your talk on or your discussion on life in Australia. Doesn't help me, right? Not interested. Okay, take it positively. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, facilitate the meeting, conduct the meeting, distribute minutes meeting detailing for follow-up action. Then on Wednesday or after next Wednesday, after a few days, I'll distribute a minutes of meeting. Hi guys, this is what we discussed. Michael, you will do 1, 2, and 5. Casper, you will do 3, 4, and 8. Yeah, rest 2 is my responsibility. And again, take follow-up after a few weeks or few days. Yeah, follow-up on agreed actions. Very simple yet excellent, effective technique. Do not go in a meeting without preparation, without agenda, without sending the agenda or proper time frame. Okay, let's look at that. I'm sharing the sound, which is great. Yeah, hope you find the video useful. Right, supporting the team during change. That's our next topic. What we're going to learn the types of change, dealing with resistance and implementing and supporting change. Change is always painful, right? Just imagine that I tell you guys that, okay, so far we have been using Zoom, right? You guys settle down, learn everything, And after 2 weeks, I said, no, we are not using Zoom anymore. It's a Microsoft Teams. And then again, you'll have to learn the new software, navigate through different story. And then again, after 2 weeks, says, no, now you're not reporting to me. Your reporting manager is Frederick, right? You will report to Frederick and see when he's available. And Frederick is not working normal hours. Again, for example, I'm working 9 to 5. Frederick is working 1 to 9 to cover the evening time, right? Again, there will be resistance with the change, right? People respond to change differently. Someone likes the change, let's say weather changes, right? Solomon, I believe it's a bit hot right now. Weather changes, everyone said, oh, it started getting cold. Someone will enjoy it, someone will not. Okay? Some people love the challenge. Others find challenge threatening due to the personality type. They like to do the same work that they are doing, or a past experience, or the comfort zone. Different types of changes, new strategic direction, right? Everything is change. Changes in the leadership, new product, improved technology, new process, or changing team structure, roles, and responsibility. Why do you resist? Because resistance to change. Why? Because you don't understand why change is being happening, right? I'm, say again, for example, from Zoom to Teams. I'm going for Microsoft Teams. Why? Because Teams got a better security feature. It's a part of Microsoft, easy to collaborate. You don't have to remember different set of IDs or password, any security breaches and all that thing, right? Well, Zoom is an external thing, even though we are using it, but everyone is moving towards Microsoft Team because most of the education institute and organization will have a purchase license of Office 365. MS Teams is a part of it. Very easy to integrate, right? Lack of trust. You don't trust your leaders, or comfortable current routine, or protection from uncertainty. These are some of the resistance. So what happens? Resistance to change. Initially, there is a denial, anger, some confusion, then goes to depression, goes to crisis, like extremely bad, then started acceptance, and then gain the new confidence. Implementing change. I'll share the slides and you guys can read it. No, nothing secret for that. Number one, create a sense of urgency. Whenever you're implementing change, you have said this is happening now, like literally, within a week, I need to do all the changes, right? Build a guiding horizon, help people, right? Form a vision, enlist your army, enable all the action, generate short-term wins. Slowly, you march towards the bigger goal. If you are aiming directly above, you're not reaching that. In order to reach the top of the mountain, you have to start your journey now. Few steps every day, right? So generate short-term win in order to learn Excel very difficultly. You need to first of all learn how to type the numbers in Excel, what Excel is, how to insert the grid, how to insert some extra row, how to format that. Then you go to the next step. Then you go for sorting. Then you go for this. Then you go for conditional formatting. And slowly, you will be like very good in the Excel, right? Sustain the acceleration, the momentum has to be sustained. Slowly. Don't give it up, even though it might be difficult. Continue marching until you reach the top. And institute change and ongoing change, as an ongoing basis. This is just one routine that we are changing. Next time it could be something else, but we are improving all the time. There is one nice video about that's about to follow. Yeah, let me go to that video first, and then I'll come back to this chart. Yeah, implementing change, message from a dancing. Watch the video without any judgment, and the message will be there. Yeah.
If you've learned a lot about leadership and making a movement, then let's watch a movement happen start to finish in under 3 minutes and dissect some lessons. First, of course, a leader needs the guts to stand alone and look ridiculous. But what he's doing is so simple, it's almost instructional. This is key. You must be easy to follow. Now here comes the first follower with a crucial role. He publicly shows everyone else how to follow. Notice how the leader embraces him as an equal. So it's not about the leader anymore, it's about them, plural. Notice how he's calling to his friends to join in. So it takes guts to be a first follower. You stand out and you brave ridicule yourself. Being a first follower is an underappreciated form of leadership. The first follower transforms a lone nut into a leader. If the leader is the flint, the first follower is the spark that really makes the fire. Now here's the second follower. This is a turning point. It's proof the first has done well. Now it's not a lone nut and it's not two nuts. 3 is a crowd and a crowd is news. A movement must be public. Make sure outsiders see more than just the leader. Everyone needs to see the followers because new followers emulate followers, not the leader. Now here come 2 more people, then 3 more immediately. Now we've got momentum. This is the tipping point and now we have a movement. As more people jump in, it's no longer risky. If they were on the fence before, there's no reason not to join in now. They won't stand out, they won't be ridiculed, and they will be part of the in crowd if they hurry. And over the next minute you'll see the rest who prefer to stay part of the crowd, because eventually they'd be ridiculed for not joining. And ladies and gentlemen, that is how a movement is made. So let's recap what we've learned. If you are a version of the shirtless dancing guy, all alone, remember the importance of nurturing your first few followers as equals, making everything clearly about the movement, not you. Be public, be easy to follow. But the biggest lesson here, did you catch it? Leadership is overglorified. Yes, it started with the shirtless guy, and he'll get all the credit, but you saw what really happened. It was the first follower that transformed a lone nut into a leader. There's no movement without the first follower. See, we're told that we all need to be leaders, but that would be really ineffective. The best way to make a movement, if you really care, is to courageously follow and show others how to follow. When you find a lone nut doing something great, have the guts to be the first person to stand up and join in.
What was the message? Would anyone like to draw a message from this? Don't worry about like there was a shirtless guy and all that thing, you know. We are all mature person, adults. Yeah. What was the message? Anyone? Yes, Patrick.
Well, I suppose a message from that would be to... Can you hear me?
Yeah, again. The message from this was?
Yeah, that would be to not be afraid, you know, to make a first step, take risks, perhaps.
Yeah.
And to be the first follower.
Yep, excellent. You have to hang in there until you get the first follower, because it's hard to get the first customer, first follower, right? The moment you get 1 or 2 followers, it's fine. It's great. You are on the right track. Just imagine you started a restaurant, right? I mean, you did everything, but you still don't have any customers. Stand out and influence are well said. Well said, yeah? So if you don't have some customer, that's right. Hang in there. Would you shut your door if you don't get any customer on a day 1 or 2 or for a few days? You'll still serve, isn't it? You'll still be prepared. The moment you get some customer, serve them extremely well, that they will send the message, wow, that restaurant is so good. The food is awesome. The service is the best you get in town, right? And then slowly, momentum will start building. That's what happened. You have to nurture your first few customer or follower. Once you take care of them, right, then there'll be more. There'll be more. It's always a chain reaction. It's always an exponential growth, right? And that's what these numbers are saying. Roger's innovation adoption curve. So whenever there is an innovation or change or any adoption of that, innovators and early adopters are only 15%, right? This is a guy, an early adopter, only few first follower. Once you are into it, then comes the early majority, then comes the late majority, like 68, almost 70% is here, and 16% is a laggard. They will join, because if they don't, they will be left out. So these are the people who have a feeling of left out, laggards, the late joiners, right? Amongst the Australian kids, teenager, like I don't know any, but just I was reading news. If they don't have an Instagram account, they'll feel, what? You don't have an Instagram account? What on earth are you living on? Right? Same thing was the Facebook few years back, or 10 years back, it was Orkut, right? The same thing, imagine someone doesn't have a Gmail account. What? You don't have a Google account? You know? So these are those people. Everyone will look at like you. What are you doing? How can you not do it? How can you not have it? Right? This kind of people. So focus on this and rest thing will fall. Right? It's just this much. Okay. Right. Identify and resolving problems. Sorry, I'm just going a bit over. I know it's our coffee break time, but I'll finish it off, and then there is nothing today. I don't think we'll be able to do anything else. I'll share the PPT once I'm done. I will share the recording once I'm done, you know, and just hang in there for a bit, yeah? Maybe 10, 15 minutes more. Yeah, and I'm yet to take my lunch as well. Your lunchtime, my lunchtime doesn't match because 11 o'clock, your lunchtime is my 11 o'clock, which is very early for me. It's like a late breakfast time, yeah, a bit early for lunch. Anyway, so we're going to learn about type of problem, what is conflict, sign that the conflict is arising, and solve the problem and resolve the conflict. Yeah. Problem that might arise in a workplace team include personal problem, quality of the deliverable, work delay, problem with the supplier, the person you're dealing with, yeah? Introduction to change, process issue, technology issue, problem associated with insufficient planning. So whatever you can do at the managerial level, leader level, yes, you can. Otherwise, you have to go deeper and get your employee doing the job, yeah? What is a conflict? Let's look at that.
What is it about conflict that makes it so difficult to deal with, and how come good people can turn into such monsters in the face of conflict? The most common way of dealing with conflict is to avoid it. Some people walk away, others get really upset, wind themselves up and attack, and others just get sick or go on stress leave. In fact, it's amazing what people will do in order to avoid conflict and the emotional stress that comes with it. There is a very clever saying that goes like this: denial is not a river in Egypt. Denial is, however, one of the most common problems when it comes to resolving conflict. When confronted with a tense or difficult conflict, too many people smooth.
Sorry, I'll just make a bigger screen.
Avoid it. Some people walk away, others get really upset, wind themselves up and attack, and others just get sick or go on stress leave. In fact, it's amazing what people will do in order to avoid conflict and the emotional stress that comes with it. There is a very clever saying that goes like this: denial is not a river in Egypt. Denial is, however, one of the most common problems when it comes to resolving conflict. When confronted with a tense or difficult conflict, too many people smooth it over, bury their head in the sand, and the conflict goes on for another 1, 2, or 3 weeks, months, or even years in some cases. I want to introduce you to a definition of conflict and then give you a pathway for the resolution of conflict. Before I do, I want to say this. For some people, even the word conflict means warfare, dead bodies and blood on the streets, and it's very common for women and men to see anything less than that as not being in conflict at all. So this is a definition that starts at a very low level because most conflict starts out as very small upsets and builds and grows into a full-scale battle. So here's the definition. Conflict exists when one person has a need of another and that need is not being met. Now don't be fooled by the simplicity of this definition. The resolution of conflict starts from here, and the first step is to express the need. The second step is to find out if the need can or cannot be met. If the need can be met, then we have resolution. If it's a no, then we negotiate to resolve the conflict or we go into the management of conflict. So here's the problem. Most people go straight from having an unmet need into the management of conflict, bypassing step 1 and step 2 because they are afraid and don't talk to the people who can do something about it. And that's not pretty. In fact, it gets quite ugly. So here's what the management of conflict looks like. Sulking, withdrawing, getting sick, the silent treatment, backstabbing, gossiping, shouting, blocking, being aggressive, and getting angry. So the resolution of conflict starts with expressing your unmet need and then finding out if your unmet need can or cannot be met. If your conflict has escalated to the stage where it's too tough or sensitive or difficult to handle, then you really need to think seriously about involving a neutral third party to help you mediate the dispute, and we can help you out with that. For more information, please call me, Jeff Muir, on 1300 555 635 or download the Conflict Resolution Survival Guide for Business Leaders. We offer you a free confidential telephone consultation to help you work out what to do next. The cost of conflict is too high, so before it gets any worse,
Before it gets worse, you should contact this guy. Yeah. No, what he said makes sense. Yeah. He really was on the point, but it's up to you whether you want to consult anyone or not. Yeah, just resolve it here. So these are some signs of conflict. So start with discomfort, goes to some incident, minor thing, misunderstanding, tension, and a crisis. So earlier you resolve, the intensity won't be this high. Solving problem. What is the problem? You need to know and acknowledge that there is a problem. Just find out what it is. What caused the problem? What do you want to achieve? What are the options? What could work best? Whether there is a possible solution or not, right? Implement and follow up. Okay. Support the team. Deal with the issue openly and honestly without being biased. Let everyone express their point of view, because it's a communication, it's a dialogue, not a monologue where you say and everyone listens. Then that's a monologue. It does not win everyone's heart. But when there is a dialogue, when there is interaction, 2 or 3-way communication, then everyone start open up and be ready to be attacked as well. Someone might say, oh, I don't like your leadership. That's fine. At least there is something to learn. At least you know where is the problem. If they won't say that thing, if they just, oh, you're good, and they don't do the work, you won't find out the problem and you won't ever solve it because you don't know what's the problem. But the moment someone says, oh, you're a very crappy leader, I don't respect you, you are being biased, you are being, rude, and you never do the work, always assign or delegate it to someone, then you know the problem. It's good that it came on a surface. Yeah. And that's why a possible solution could exist. Let everyone express their point of view. Implement the problem-solving strategy. Encourage team members to listen to each another and ask for any clarifying question and summarize. Understanding. Right? Finally, communicating with management and a team. So as a leader, that's your role. As a manager, that's your role. You take care of the team, take the feedback from the team, pass it to the management. Whatever management has a result, pass it back to the team, right? So you're like a middleman, right? Team leader will report regularly to the management about team plans and objective, team collaboration, any objective, any issue from the team member. Team member might say, oh, we have a lot of work, we are getting extra work, but without any pay rise. Now, you don't have to rule out the possibility of pay rise. Just pass it to the higher management that, oh, this is what staffs are saying. If you want to keep them happy, you need to increase the pay because the work is increased. The inflation is going high, right? Any solution, any risk, resources, or any budget, actual versus forecast, right? This is what a job of a leader to report to the management. How do you liaise with the management? Could be written reports, meeting minutes, could be some presentation, one-to-one, you meet with your CEO, your boss, teleconference or video conference. Like this is a video conference. Like I have asked you guys to turn off the video because otherwise I'll start breaking up. You won't hear a word. But nah, this is a video conference. Yeah, a type of video conference. And from the management to the team. So be clear on what you are saying. Don't add your words. Whatever management has said for the team member, pass it on. Right? Emphasis the positive, be descriptive rather evaluative, be specific, don't generalize, and be careful with any advice that you might give. Cool, this is it. Thank you very much. Any questions? Michael, sir, all good? Michael is still on mute, but there was no disturbance. I didn't ask him to unmute. Yeah. Yeah. Any questions, guys? Are all good? Okay. Let's stop sharing. Let's stop the recording. Stop the